Good day YouTube, Niagara Gunfighter here. Today we're going to swap out a fan motor and a capacitor on a poorly performing AC compressor. If your air conditioner doesn't make really cold air, has a large humming or buzzing sound when it tries to start, or the fan won't start at all, this is likely your problem. Now I didn't call the AC repairman, but I'm guessing he probably wants $2,000 to replace these parts that I got on Amazon for $125. Let's start by turning off the power supply and removing the fuse from this panel that looks like it's been here since the 1970s. A simple nut driver should remove both the cover and fan screen mount screws. If you're lucky, your model will still have the label with the schematic and device information on it. Now, because this capacitor can store and deliver 370 volts temporarily, I'm going to check with a multimeter to make sure it's discharged prior to handling it. It's a good idea to take a couple of pictures of the wiring harness just in case you forget, but this job is pretty straightforward. Let's start removing the wiring harness. You will need to separate the fan motor wires from the compressor wires. Easy. For the fan screen, remove the 4 outside screws, not the ones on the back of the motor. Next, we will carefully remove the 3 motor wires, noting where they are each connected. Then feed them out through the structure. Ta-da! Onto the workbench. Be gentle with the fan blade. If you break it, you're screwed. A little liquid persuasion, and that broke free way easier than I was expecting. Even after an hour, this motor is still too hot to touch. Good indication it's beyond time to replace it. We also need to recover this plastic conduit for the new motor. Now, let's remove the fan screen and start the install. Installation is the opposite of disassembly, as they say. Still too hot. This discoloration shows likely heat damage to the motor. The way my fan screen is keyed, I don't see any problem, but your installation may vary. Make sure you mount it so the wires face the correct direction. Don't over-tighten. If you break these, you'll have to cannibalize your old motor for parts. Same with the fan blade. Make sure it's tight, but don't break it. I'm sure there's a torque spec for these, but I'm not looking it up. Gently feed your wires back through and leave enough slack to flip the fan over. Now to replace the capacitor. Simple nut driver job, but I recommend leaving these 2 wires attached and switching them over one at a time. My replacement capacitor is larger than the original, so we'll also have to change the bracket. Luckily, I have some pipe strap laying around the garage that's perfect for this application. Once attached, we will simply move the wires over, being careful to attach onto the correct contact points. Same for the motor wires, attach in the correct place. If you can't remember, refer to your photos from earlier. Make the wires look pretty and secure, then a quick blow job with the air compressor to clean up the area. All of this part should look familiar. Let's see what happens on the test start. Nice and quiet, plus a very quick start. I didn't make a before video, but the fan often would not start at all and the compressor would make a loud buzzing sound when the AC tried to start. While it looks slow on video, the fan is actually at full speed, very quiet and moving a large volume of air across the unit. Success! We are good to go. Please like my video and follow my channel, Niagara Gunfighter on YouTube. Thanks for watching.